Hello everyone, welcome to Street Outlaws Update channel. Today we are talking about Street Outlaws star Chuck Seitsinger's rising from adversity to dominate No Prep Kings. Imagine being at the top of your game and enjoying the heart-pounding lifestyle of a racer. Fans all throughout the country will never forget your name. Then all of a sudden, your world falls apart. You are imprisoned and devoid of both freedom and hope, but how can you get back up from the ashes and take your place at the top when the racetrack calls your name again? This is the tale of Chuck Seitsinger, a man whose fortitude transformed a terrible situation into an uplifting triumph. A life completely upended. The narrative of Chuck starts on what appears to be a typical day. He didn't realize his life was going to take a turn for the worst when he answered a court summons. In addition to the tremendous demands of being a racer, a parent, and a provider, he was dealing with a personal crisis when his kid was admitted to the hospital and needed his steadfast support. During this emotional upheaval, Chuck was charged with a minor offense. What ought to have been a minor legal issue became a devastating blow. He was sentenced to 60 days in Oklahoma County Jail, a place notorious for its severe circumstances, rather than a slap on the wrist. Chuck found his time in jail to be a huge shock. The comforts of life vanished, along with communication with the outside world. He was kept in seclusion, took only 7 showers in a 25-day period, and spent weeks in the same clothes. Chuck, nevertheless, found strength in the most unusual places despite these terrible circumstances. Supporting messages from his team and fans flooded in, and he received unexpected companionship from other prisoners. His time in prison served as a lesson and a reminder of the things that were most important to him: his family, his fans, and his passion for racing. The Second Amendment car is back on course. Chuck wasted no time after being freed. He returned immediately to the racetrack, his second home, and his crew. It wasn't an easy return, though. He had the odds against him. Chuck had been absent, unable to test or prepare, while his rivals had been refining their automobiles for weeks. He and his staff, however, put their everything into getting his car ready for the following race with grit and commitment. Let's get into the Second Amendment vehicle. Fans were immediately drawn to this fashionable addition to the No Prep Kings roster because of its twin-turbo 41X engine. The car has shown itself to be dependable and quick, consistently making passes down the circuit, even though it isn't yet tuned for the fiercely competitive environment. Chuck has made reliability a key component of his approach. Chuck's car is always prepared to take advantage of opportunities that arise from an opponent's blunders, which can make all the difference in racing. But the Fox Body Mustang's shorter wheelbase, which is characteristic of the Second Amendment automobile, creates special difficulties. Because they are notoriously difficult to stabilize at high speeds, cars with shorter wheelbases are more difficult to tune for reliable performance. However, Chuck's background as a professional racer comes through, and the car's potential is clear. Toward the future, large-scale goals and greater difficulties, Chuck refuses to settle. He is aiming for a major advancement in the Second Amendment vehicle. Plans call for switching from the present twin-turbo 41X arrangement to a more competitive power combination, including a Pro-Charger or screw-blown Hemi. Chuck's move would put him in line with the best players in the series, and these setups rule the No Prep Kings field. The changeover is far from easy, though. The cost of a new Hemi engine alone can exceed $100,000, and the expense is further increased by the addition of a Pro-Charger or screw blower. Even locating used parts necessitates a large part investment and tuning know-how. Chuck's candor about these difficulties draws attention to the financial obstacles that racers, especially those with his level of expertise, must overcome. Chuck's resolve, however, is unwavering. His desire to remain competitive is shown in his dedication to improving his vehicle, and he is putting in a lot of effort to obtain the required funds. The Second Amendment automobile has the potential to be a strong contender with the correct configuration and adjustment. Fans can immediately picture Chuck making daring passes and outperforming his rivals, an example of resilience. More than just a racing comeback, Chuck Seitsinger's journey is an example of tenacity and drive. In addition to his ambition, his plans for the Second Amendment automobile show his inventiveness and flexibility. Even though Chuck faces significant financial difficulties, his ability to transform setbacks into opportunities has come to define him. We're excited to see what happens next as fans. Chuck Seitsinger's future in No Prep Kings is undoubtedly as exciting as the races itself, regardless of whether he chooses to use a screw-blown Hemi, a Pro Charger, or another cutting-edge arrangement. His narrative serves as a reminder that it's more important to ascend fiercely than to fall hard. Chuck is also getting up faster than before.